I think back to like middle school. And, I think it's just like the stereotypical, like I was into theater, I was into music. I played sports, but wasn't really that good at them. And actually was a cheerleader in middle school too. Like I joined my first cheerleading team in 7th grade. And, the funny thing is, there was tryouts and everything. And I got the 4th highest score out of all the girls. So I figured that was, a little telltale sign.
That was a sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not stereotyping male cheerleaders whatsoever, but.
I have a buddy who's a male cheerleader who's awesome. Chappelle's 99.9% sure he's straight. Chappelle Lacey. But he's built like a brick shit house too.
Collegiate cheerleaders are insane.
Yeah, but you have to be able to flip through the air. People don't understand what cheerleading is, right? They think of it as like, yeah, go team. No, it's crazy acrobatics.
Even in high school, like I was throwing girls up in the air by myself and catching them overhead.
Yeah.
Like doing shit like that.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Yeah, Chappelle does this stuff where he grabs them by the feet and flips them in the air.
Yeah.
And catches them on one hand.
It's stupid.
It's bananas. Like the amount of physical power you have to be able to do that.
Timing, coordination.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you have to be a fucking savage to throw someone in the air and catch them with one hand.
It takes a lot of balls.
A lot of fucking power, too.
Yeah.
Like the explosive power.
For sure.
Most men shitting on cheerleaders could never pull that off.
No.
It's fucking hard. Can you do all the flips and shit, too?
God, no.
Back handsprings?
God, no.
No? Could you do it back then?
No.
No?
No, that's actually one of the reasons why, when I was doing it in high school, I actually looked to do it in college at the collegiate level. But tumbling was like a minimum requirement. And I was like, yeah, I'm a little too chunky and unathletic to do that shit. So,
So how did you get into powerlifting and strongman type shit?
So that, honestly, totally by chance. I was working out in my high school weight room one day after school, and a substitute teacher happened to walk by who owned a CrossFit gym. And he was like, hey, I'm at this CrossFit gym. Like, you seem like you like this stuff and you're pretty strong. Like, feel free to come by. So I actually started training with him at 5 o'clock in the morning before school. And I found out really quickly I sucked at CrossFit, but I liked lifting heavy shit. And this was back in 2009. And walked into the gym one morning and they were like, hey, there's a local strongman contest this Saturday. We signed you up for it.
So when you say you sucked at CrossFit's just a bunch of Olympic lifts and different explosive exercises.
Yeah, I just wasn't in shape.
Oh, right. So the ability to do massive repetitions
well in the workouts. Yeah.
Right.
So they signed me up for my first contest. I was 17 years old.
Really?
Had never touched an implement. I had just seen it on TV like everybody else in World's Strongest Man. Got my ass kicked. Took last place.
But you were 17, and how much lifting had you done previous to that?
Maybe 4 or 5 months.
Really?
But at that point, I had hit the 500-pound deadlift.
And you'd only been lifting for a couple months?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just a freak genetically.
In a few lifts, I was good at.
That's a lot of weight for a few months of lifting.
Yeah, so the contest went horrible for me. But I absolutely fell in love with the sport. Ended up at Springfield College in Massachusetts and joined their powerlifting team. And that's when I kind of got, more of a background in lifting, proper technique and all that stuff. And then did another local strongman contest where I met this guy, Matt Mills, who owns a Gym Lightning Fitness in Connecticut where I train now. And he was like, yeah, I'm just starting to get all the strongman equipment. You should come down. It's only about 30 minutes from your school. So I actually would go there every Saturday morning from when I was in college to train strongman, and that's when I kind of started competing in the amateur circuit. And that's kind of led me on my trajectory to here.
So you're one of those rare people that actually lives in Connecticut.
I live in Massachusetts.
Ah, good for you.
Right over the border of
Good
Connecticut.
move.
Yeah.
Escape. Go over there, work out real quick.
And then leave.
Yeah, Connecticut's strange.
It's something.
It's a strange place. It's a lost state.
Yeah.
So you get into powerlifting, and then what was your exposure to truck pulling and all that other crazy shit?
So really not much. The cool thing about strongman is every contest is different that we do. We never do a same, I've done the sport for over 10 years now, and I've never done a contest where the events have been the same in that span of time.
Do you know what it's going to be before you sign up?
Typically.
So we get
about
a series of lifts?
8 to 12 weeks notice, depending on the contest. So the gym that I was going to in Connecticut, they were just starting to acquire strongman equipment. So it was pretty bare bones. So like we had a steel log, for the log clean and press. They had some Atlas stones, some farmer's handles, a yoke, and that's pretty much it. And then over the years, he would get more and more and more. And now it's turned into this massive 15,000 square foot facility. And the gym owner, we call him an equipment whore because he buys every time something new comes out, he buys it. So yeah, like my exposure to the equipment in the beginning was pretty minimal, but what I did to compensate for that is I just competed more. So I would pretty much, from Springfield, Massachusetts, I drew a 5-hour radius from where I was, and any contest there was in that radius I would do. So in my first 3 years, I competed probably almost 40 times.
Whoa. How often are these things being held?
At the amateur level, pretty often. There's usually, you could find, I would say 1 or 2 per month in New England alone.
Really?
And then they're all over the country. So, I think the cool thing is, I was really, like I said, I took last in my first contest, and that went on for a while. I took dead last in my first 8 shows that I did. So I wasn't good at this thing when I started.